Hi, my name's Calling Me Crazy. As we all know, I am the expert delivery driver, certified, by the way. It's on my shirt, actually. I should probably take a picture of that and send it, but I am an expert driver at Domino's, and I talk about this job a lot here on the channel. And one part I have not talked about is the driving, the actual, experience of running into other drivers on the road. Because if you drive, you know, probably most likely that a lot of people suck at driving. And I would say I'm clearly qualified to drive because I've never been in a wreck before, and I've driven for, I don't know, 9 years now, maybe? Maybe not that long, maybe more like 7. But I've driven for quite a while, and driving at Domino's has helped a lot in making me a better driver because I have to do it like every other day of the week and for several hours. It gets my, reaction time up pretty well. I think playing video games also plays into that a little bit. But as I've experienced, driving, dropping off pizzas, I've ran into at least two categories of people I probably despise the most when it comes to driving on the road, and that is old people and Uber or Lyft drivers. Let's start with old people because they're probably the most dangerous people on the road. I swear to God. I'll be driving on like a 45 and this guy's going 25 and I can't get around him because I'm boxed in by two old people that don't know how to drive and are going way like 20 miles per hour below the speed limit. And like on a busy road too. I'm like, dude, that is dangerous. That is more dangerous than speeding. I'd rather you speed at like 60 on a 45 than go 25, or even like on the highway. There's a big highway that I drive on to get from certain places, and I think the speed limit's also 45 for some reason. It's a 3-lane highway, but most people drive about like 60 or above, and if you're driving under that, and you try to like turn a corner. I had one lady one time, she turned a corner to take a right. I was in the right lane and she saw me. I saw her look through a window. She looked right at me and then still continued to turn the lane. Luckily there was no one in my left spot, so I had to swerve into the left lane to fucking dodge this person. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Um, I feel like old people, if you're like maybe 60, 65, somewhere in that range or older, you shouldn't really be driving. Or at least like your motor skills should be tested to see if you can drive at that point every like couple years at minimum. Um, just 'cause like, or maybe maximum, not minimum, maximum. Minimum maybe like every once a year, maybe twice a year. Just 'cause it's dangerous, dude. Like the old people drive these nice ass cars, and they love to just like swerve in front of you sometimes. I've had a guy one time where it's like a double turn lane to take a left, and I'm in like let's say the right lane, and he's in the left lane, and we're both turning, in our respective lanes to take the left. It's a double turn, and so as soon as the turn is over, this guy fucking swerves into the right lane without even looking that I'm right there. I have to slam my brakes just so he doesn't hit me, and like cause an accident. And even if it's their fault, I could still get charged with, insurance and all that, and it's gonna cost me more than the money I'm gonna get out of the wreck for what they did, or fender bender even. So it's just like, dude, you gotta, and they're like driving expensive cars. Like it's scary. It's like anybody who has no money that drives around these people are endangered of, getting blamed at and possibly financially ruined for the rest of their lives. So it's very scary. And then there's the Uber and Lyft drivers. Now, they're not as bad on the road, I would say. Um, Sometimes they could be a little nutty. At least in my area, they're like they speed like way over the fucking speed limit, dude. I've seen like guys go 100 in a fucking Uber because they want to get to their destination as quick as possible. And I get it. That job is a little more pressing on gas mileage and like the time that you spend. I think driving a person from one destination to the other, and you're trying to get them as quick as possible to one place or the other, so you get like a really good tip or whatever. I'm not an Uber driver. I don't know how that works exactly. I've heard it's a lot more competitive than what I do at Domino's, but they are like some of the worst parkers ever. So I've been to like 3 different places in the past month where I've had to drop my car off in front of someone's house or like go into a driveway, and an Uber driver is like blocking the fucking entrance to the driveway. It's stupid. So I saw one guy. I was trying to turn into, this is like a really tight enclosed space, parking lot, and there's a driveway I'm supposed to go down to, and this fucking Uber driver, he doesn't just like pull into the driveway like facing forward. He pulls into the driveway sideways, so he blocks every chance I can get into the driveway. And while I'm sitting there waiting for him to move so I can get in, there's a guy inside the driveway that's trying to wave at him to get him to move so he can get out. I'm like, dude, you're blocking two lanes, like two ways of traffic just to pick up somebody. Like, park normal. Park in a normal spot. I've also seen a guy at my parking lot in front of our store. Even though, granted, it was nighttime and there wasn't that many parking spots, it was still annoying. There was like 3 spots open, all next to each other. And this guy comes in and just drives parks. He like parallel parks into the 3 spots. He takes up all 3 spots. And I'm like, dude, like, park normally. Park like a normal person. What are you doing? It's so obnoxious. I'm like, I get it's nighttime and like, sure, you don't know who's like working or not. There's not that many people in the parking lot, but you can park anywhere you want. Don't park like that. Don't be an asshole. I've seen some truckers do this too. It makes sense if you have like a load on the truck. Like I've seen guys with like trailers on the back of their trucks hooked up. That makes sense a little bit. If you're there just temporarily to drop, some stuff off or do some business, fine. I can get that. Maybe take up 2 spots that are like, back to back, facing forwards and not parallel, because then you're only taking up those 2 spots and not like 4 spots or 5 spots sometimes. Or if it's a semi truck, it's like good luck. Good luck finding anything that you could fit your truck in. But the Uber drivers are crazy, man. I'm just like, what makes you think you could just park like that? And this guy didn't move like for at least 2 or 3 deliveries. Like I kept coming back to the store and he was still there, taking up all those spots. I was like, this is stupid. Like what are you waiting for? Why are you waiting so long? Are you waiting for somebody to pick up their pizza for like 15 to 20 minutes? It was longer than that. They were at least there for like half an hour. And it was nighttime. It was like we weren't that busy, so I don't know what they were waiting for, but they were sitting there for a long, long time. It was ridiculous. But yeah, the driving experience, it's taught me some really good reflexive moves, and like ways to park. The city I live in is notorious for parking meters, so I found good ways to, park in spots that I know don't get in the way of other people. And then just driving in general around town has taught me to be a better driver. If you ever want to really get good at driving, if you're like a youngin and have like a beat 'em up car, I would recommend driving a beater car. Don't drive something that's like a BMW or like a Mercedes or something for like a Domino's job or a delivery job. But try that. You get pretty good at driving. I've had some close calls, but maybe don't take up too many shifts. So, yeah, that's all I had to talk about. It was more of like a rant than anything about just terrible drivers on the road. I'm sure a lot of you can have experienced the same thing or can relate a lot if you drive. And yeah, I'll wrap up the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.